Okay, let's make things plain. At the start of the year, everyone was thrilled about the enormous possibility that XRP might hit $10,000. And guess what? Simply said, that estimate is now far more accurate. Officially, BlackRock's Larry Fink is in favor of this. Consider this: $10,000 per XRP isn't the only factor involved. I apologize. He's giving the impression that it's a prerequisite to enter the prize. It gets juicy at this point. Consider that well-known figures in finance, like as Vanguard and BlackRock, are now giving XRP considerable consideration for their international transactions. Things will improve, so don't worry. Rumor has it that BlackRock will launch an exchange-traded fund ETF that concentrates on XRP. I assume you heard that. But there's more. Larry Fink did more than that. The $30 trillion real estate market is what he is examining. What do you think will happen to it in the future? That's all. The Everything will be converted to tokens using the XRP system. The XRP system and RippleNet will also get a massive $1.2 quadrillion from the International Swaps and Traders Association. $10,000 per XRP isn't the only factor involved. Children enjoy themselves. Each XRP's worth might skyrocket to as much as $60,000. Whoa, that's awesome. Let's proceed to the following section. Another major surprise was BlackRock's Larry Fink. He is not just someone who talks. Ripple's digital currency, XRP, is poised for significant growth. Everything will be tokenized, and there will be an attention-grabbing clip in the following segment of our film. Larry Fink himself acknowledged BlackRock's intention toward an XRP ETF. Let's not put it off any longer. You are welcome to view this video right now. Strange things have been happening in the cryptocurrency industry lately, mainly in relation to XRP. Consider this. XRP's on CRYPTO.com. The value skyrocketed to an incredible 43,000 on the renowned market. This is not a one-time event. This is a part of an increasing pattern where the value of XRP is growing unexpectedly. Do you recall our discussion last week on a $7,000 XRP bug at a significant exchange? It's CRYPTO.com's turn now, and it appears that these abrupt price spikes for XRP occur frequently on several markets. But let's go on to something else. Another thing I discovered while studying a lot. That is equally fascinating, but it is unrelated to BlackRock or the wider upswing in the XRP market. We will discuss Gary Gensler, the well-known SEC chairman who succeeded Jake Clinton. As most of you may already be aware, Gensler consistently places XRP in the security category. It becomes intriguing at this point. Gary Gensler's identical twin brother is Robert M. Gensler. They share a lot of similarities in appearance and age. Robert holds a key position at Troll Price as vice president. Upon closer inspection, you will notice that Troll Price isn't your typical investment firm. It is one of the largest investors in Ethereum, Bitcoin, and yes, XRP. There appears to be an odd connection here. SEC Chief Gary Gensler continues to refer to XRP as a security. His twin brother, on the other hand, is heavily connected with an investing firm that has substantial funds in XRP and other cryptocurrencies. This disparity is intriguing and raises questions about the intricate mechanisms at work in the realm of Bitcoin investments and regulations. We now have an exciting choice. Is there anything that Troll Price's vice president, Robert Gensler, knows about the potential of XRP that no one else does, unlike what they know about Bitcoin and Ethereum? This concept begins to make sense when you consider the amount of money the corporation has put in these three cryptocurrencies. The SEC publicly asserts that insider trading does not exist. However, numerous reports and studies have demonstrated that there is. These investigations, which have primarily focused on insider trading and market manipulation, have often demonstrated that the SEC is acting improperly. It appears that a pattern is beginning to emerge. Employees of the SEC appear to be informing their friends and relatives about the digital assets that may soon no longer qualify as stocks. These family members then go to bed early. By purchasing low and selling high, the asset's value skyrockets when it is publicly deemed non-security, making these family members and friends wealthy. Let's consider the possibility that Robert N. Gensler received insider knowledge about the SEC's potential loss in a lawsuit against XRP from his brother Gary Gensler. Such information may indicate that Congress wishes to resolve the dispute between the SEC and Ripple Labs. For astute investors, now is a fantastic moment to purchase XRP. However, this story is further complicated by the fact that Troll Price has increased his investments in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and most significantly XRP. At the same time, there is a lot of talk in the cryptocurrency community about how XRP might reach incredible heights of $10,000, $20,000, or even $60,000. Notably, experts who have expressed optimism about XRP, such Jack the Rippler, predict that its value will soar and maybe surpass $589. Despite its audacity, this projection demonstrates the level of attention and speculation about XRP and its potential in the market for cryptocurrencies. Because XRP is so profitable, Wall Street wants a piece of the action, and I predict that the first big move will be an XRP ETF. However, let's examine this change from a deeper perspective. We have some intriguing news from Crypto Basic. A former head of Ripple has expressed interest in JP Morgan's significant entry into XRP, according to an analyst. We need to discuss this revelation, which made me raise an eyebrow. This is how the narrative unfolds. An ex-Ripple director had to answer after Ben Armstrong, a former employee of the BitBoy cryptocurrency brand, made some contentious remarks regarding JP Morgan's purported investment in XRP. Armstrong, a prominent figure in the cryptocurrency community, authored a number of posts regarding this. He claims that 7.5 million XRP coins have been purchased by JP Morgan. Armstrong now claims that this transaction is worth roughly 7.5% of JP Morgan's total wealth. But hold on, this math is completely illogical. 4.46 million is not even close to 7.5% of JP Morgan's wealth, which gives you a notion of how much 7.5 million XRP is currently worth. When you take into account that JP Morgan's total assets as of 2023 are an enormous $3.89 trillion, Armstrong's calculations don't quite add up. Armstrong nevertheless emphasizes how crucial it is that JP Morgan is purportedly hoarding XRP as part of a strategy. According to him, this positions JP Morgan as a potential Bitcoin powerhouse. We've heard that large thus far. JP Morgan and other Wall Street banks may be interested in investing in cryptocurrency, particularly with XRP. The idea of large banks investing in cryptocurrency is also something that shouldn't be disregarded, even though the logic may not be very sound. It's a part of a larger trend that combines digital currencies with traditional banking, and XRP is at the heart of some fascinating developments. The largest name in asset management, BlackRock, has also gained attention as a result of Armstrong's forceful remarks. He claims that after gaining approval for its iShares Bitcoin ETF, BlackRock is now considering XRP for its financial portfolio, which has angered people. Armstrong's story did not end there. He is also keeping a careful eye on the ongoing legal dispute between the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) and Ripple. Any ideas? Despite the ongoing legal proceedings, these massive financial institutions are investing in XRP. This demonstrates their belief in the promising future of XRP. Imagine what would occur if this gathering trend became genuine. It would imply that, despite XRP's constantly shifting laws, well-known financial figures are placing bets on it. Alright, so this is the situation. Since I first discussed this more than 5 years ago, when it looked like a pipe dream, Wall Street's acceptance of cryptocurrency was inevitable. Take a look at us now. You don't believe XRP will emulate Bitcoin? Do you? I have to disagree to be kind. When, not if, is the question. However, Armstrong's depiction of a particular circumstance may not be accurate. But hold on, the narrative becomes more intricate. The former director of Ripple, Matt Hamilton, reacted doubtfully to Armstrong's startling remarks. Because there are so many of them, he wasn't sure if such a purchase was permitted or what impact it would have on XRP.